All right, hello everybody, and welcome to our round of 32 stream of the Bill Gregg Open, a 1v1 tournament. We are almost all the way through with the round of 64. There's, I think, just three matches left to either be administratively won or played shortly within the next day. Otherwise, we've had to issue out a few admin wins, but most of the games get played. We ended up getting close to, I think we're right around 75% of the round one games getting played, which is pretty good for most tournaments. And then I think generally from here on out, we should be looking close to full games played. In the round of 32, we're going to have a lot of good matchups, I think. And oh, it is not just me on the stream tonight. It is. Who else do I have with me? Introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is BoIt, and I am back with some more Bill Gregg Open 1x1 tourney action.
And very strange. You were saying good morning, and like for me, it is late at night. 9:30 at night. What time is it in Australia?
11:30
Oh wow. Well, that's almost afternoon.
in the AM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got all of the map sets ready for this round of 32, which is kind of the main reason for this stream. Is we kind of introduce the maps for each matchup. We're also kind of talk a little bit about how the players got to where they were, because we only had four players that got buys into this round of 32, and the rest played or got admin wins. So I think we'll just kind of jump right into our first matchup, and kind of go down the list. We do have the full bracket if you want it. You can. I should have it in the video information, or on Twitch. You can just put exclamation point bracket. And we had a few people just waking up. What happened to Iron Maiden? Well, we'll talk about that. But anyway, you ready, boy? Just to start going
They're
into.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
the round. Let me get to my player list here. Okay, order and get that to the top, and then my player names, get that to the top. And the very first matchup we'll be talking about in the round of 32 is our number one seed player versus number
Mhm.
33 Hagrid. Hagrid, we'd like to say, played really well in the first round, but he didn't even play at all. He got an admin win over champion Anubis, who I guess decided not to show
Yeah.
up. So that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah. So they had their match scheduled, and he didn't turn up. So for me, that's automatic. An automatic loss. If you schedule a match and you don't turn up, you're out.
Yeah, without saying anything, at least say, hey, something's happening, I'm coming up. But
Yeah. Exactly.
but yeah,
Exactly.
player versus Hagrid. And let us get our maps so we can kind of talk about the maps and our players at the same time. So this is going to be our maps right here for player versus Hagrid. We've got Marsh, the new map, Drenched River, Savannah, Medit, and a Watering Hole. And Hagrid's Hagrid's got an uphill climb to go into us, and I think he's probably gonna be really sad when he sees Medit, because player and Medit are, whew, it's like me and BoIt. Like, you just the best thing in the world. Just player and Medit. How do you
Just
beat
goes
him on
together
it?
so
Yeah,
well.
it does. Peanut butter, jelly, popcorn,
Yeah.
butter, and Parmesan. Player and Medit. What do you think of this
Yes,
matchup?
yes.
Is Hagrid even gonna win a
No,
game?
Hagrid's a random god player, so he's got the advantage of being able to come in and pick the best god to play on each map, and and not have his skill suffer. So
But what do you do against
uh,
Zeus?
I know. So we'll see what he chooses. I mean, there's lots of options for these maps, especially the new map. Haven't seen many games on that, so maybe he can come
Mm-mm.
up with something like that. Pull some cheese out on Mediterranean if he wins a game before then, and then maybe go into Watering Hole as well.
Uh,
I mean, I'm expecting play to win, but
yeah,
Hagrid's a creative player, so maybe we'll see some creativity.
he is. I'd say he's one of the smarter players around, but skill wise, obviously, he can't match up to players. So I think Haker would probably be happy just to win one game, which would be pretty cool. I mean, take a game off a player, it's something to talk about.
Yeah,
But yeah,
nice.
But we will move on. Get our number 2 matchup. Well, our next matchup in the bracket. We are going top to bottom in the bracket too. So our next set of players, the winners of that, would end up playing against F2 player and Hagrid, whoever would win. So our next matchup will be Count Von Count versus Heimdall will be the next one to talk about. And let us real quick let me get the map set moved up before we. What do you think of this maps or the game while I move up the maps?
Well, yeah, so Count Von Count played Loki Alex in the first round, and that was 3-0. So pretty decisive victory there for Count Von Count. And Heimdall got an admin win over Norse because of some less than ideal behavior.
To say the least.
To say the least. So that's what happened. But these guys are both like, as you can see, it's a 16 seed versus 17 seed. So they're actually really close in skill level. Count on Count used to be like a 2K player, but his skill has gone down in recent years due to inactivity. And Heimdall is playing quite a bit in the map.
Hold on. I've
I've
got Heimdall's seeds way wrong. Way wrong. Let me switch that around. Yeah, that is way wrong. Heimdall might think he is.
This was supposed to be, if I remember correctly, this was supposed to be Shiny in this game and not Norse. And Shiny had to leave the tournament due to scheduling. Like his life got busy this week or something, so he couldn't play. And then our
replacement Norse had bad attitude and bad behavior and bad scheduling, so the trifecta of idiocy got him thrown out of the tournament, to I think probably no one's surprise. But the maps we do have on the screen, these are the maps that they'll be playing. Count probably a Norse player mostly, and Heimdall. Count does play some Egyptian, and Heimdall does. I think he's mostly an Eranos player. I guess correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in chat, but I think it'll be mostly Eranos versus probably a lot of Norse. And our maps are Marsh, Oasis, Borderlands, Ghost Lake, and Savannah. That's a good well-rounded land map. It's all land. It's a well-rounded land map set though. Like you go from Marsh to Oasis. That's a lot different.
Very, very interesting. Like, and the Borderlands there for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the most interesting for me map for the new map pool, because the map is so different. You're so used to having to spawn so far away from each other, and on Borderlands you're like directly next to each other. So super aggressive map, and I expect to see these players start preparing for their maps a little bit and coming in with some unique strategies and ideas to play on these maps.
Yeah, I think so. Heimdall, he plays quite a bit, and I think he could win. I mean, Count is seated really high, kind of more so based on his past skill, and he's been pretty inactive lately, so he's definitely not at what he used to be. So I could see this potentially being an upset, because Heimdall can play well sometimes, and then other times not so. But I could see Heimdall picking a couple games off, and maybe 3, though it would still be, he's still the underdog, but I could see it potentially happening.
For sure.
And then we do have a question in the chat. Who is Bill Gregg? Is Hagrid with a D or a T? I think it's a T. We always misspell it. Who is Bill Gregg? Bill Gregg is what the donor wanted to name the tournament after. So I will not get into it beyond that. But that was it. Who won? These are not the game. These are the upcoming matches, not results. So these are the upcoming matches, and we will take a look at our next match coming up. And this one is a juicy one, I kind of think. think it'll be closer than what people think. It's more champion versus Mr. Boat that don't quite fit in my
Yeah.
overlay. I think this could be a bit closer than what Mr. Moore would like to think. I know Moore likes to think of
Yeah.
himself very highly as far as skill, which he is a good player. But Mr. Boat could maybe surprise a little bit. And we do have our maps
Well,
on the
yeah.
screen here
Yeah.
now too.
So more champion won 3-0 against Navi, and Mr. Boat got the admin win, or not an admin win. Iron Maiden forfeited against Mr. Boat because I believe he wanted to watch Age of Empires 2. So everybody can give him shit for that.
Yes, he was too busy to play this weekend because he was watching Age of Empires 2 streams. Come on.
Yeah.
So Mr. Boat got the.
But more importantly, this matchup, right? Odin is Mr. Boat's god, and Uranus is more Champion's god. And if you're familiar with the goings on of RTS Sanctuary, there's been a lot of complaining in recent history about Odin versus Uranus from more Champion. So he obviously battles in this matchup just a little bit. So we'll see if that comes into play here for Mr. Boat, because he actually, I think in hindsight, he was seated way too low. But he was in that like 1750 range and just like got randomized to the bottom of the 1750 range, as opposed to like Iron Maiden, who was in the top of the 1750 range getting randomized. So it's like you could have potentially seen Mr. Boat be 25 or 40, right?
Yeah, and looking at these map sets here, so Anatolia, Oasis, Borderlands again. We actually got a couple repeat maps from the last map set. And then Blue Lagoon, and then Midgard. So we've got a couple land-water maps, which I would say would more favor Mr. Boat. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would think it would more favor the Norse than the Atlantean. Oasis is going to be a tough.
Well, specifically Anatolia, yeah. Specifically Anatolia. I actually expect more Champion to go one of his off gods for Anatolia. Like he really doesn't like Anatolia as Uranus. So.
Well, who does it take
he
so
has
long?
Been playing, I think he's been playing Set recently as well.
Has he?
So maybe that'll be a
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes so long for those fat Atlanteans to reach the water on Anatolia. But yeah, Anatolia, Oasis will be tough. Greek has some good things to say to you about BoIt. Hello, Greek, in the chat. Blue Lagoon, Borderlands. Yeah, this is a pretty cool map set here. You got a couple water and a few land. I think it'll be a close match. I think Moore will win. I think Boat will make it a game of it, though. I think he will. And we will, I think, move on to our next. There are a lot of good matchups in this round of 32. Our next one, Hellsravage versus Swiss Boy. That could go either way too. Because Hell's, again, kind of seated high courtesy of his old skill level, which he's not been playing as much lately. And Swiss Boy has been playing a lot and playing well lately.
Yeah, but I have seen Hell's. I caught some of Hell's, like, I don't know if you want to call them training games or what have you, this morning, and he is playing very, very good. So it's not like he's rusty at the moment. So this is yes, it should be a good game.
Yeah, and both of them won their first rounds 3-0. Hells beat Ryan 202 3-0, and Swiss Boy beat VK Mahi 3-0 as well. So dominated the first round. Now they meet here on this round on a nice set of maps. Again, Oasis. Then we got Painted Desert, Midgard, Blue Lagoon, and then Arctic Craters. Too bad that map's last, because that map's really cool. But it's interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to see that one.
This trump card row. But yeah, Hells kind of does a variety of different gods. And Swiss Boy has been playing a lot of Poseidon lately, but he also plays like Kronos and Uranus pretty well too. So as far as even the gods, I think in this matchup are pretty up in the air. Remember, it is blind pick, so they won't know. You won't be able to really counter Civ unless you get lucky with your blind picking. But yeah, bunch of cool maps here. Cool. This is. I'm looking forward to this map. I think it's going to be really cool. I think we'll see a lot of different gods here.
Very exciting.
Yeah. And let's see. We will move on to our next one. Whatever happened to the True Loke tournament? Yes, Swiss Boy did win it, and then True Loke got mad and like lowered everybody's prize by like 25%. That won't happen in this tournament, by the way. We are legit over here. And our next matchup is Scotty versus our 4th seed, so he had a bye, versus Makaveli, our 36 seed. And Scotty did have a bye, and then Makaveli, he really trounced my ISIS best god in that first round.
It was disgusting. Yes, yes.
It was. Yeah, so he went 3-0 against
yes,
my
we
ISIS.
can see Arctic craters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a cool map set here. Arctic craters first. We start off with a couple snow maps, Ghost Lake, and then Marsh, and then Savannah and Alfheim. Now, Makaveli, what is his main god? Is he Norse? Or what did he play?
What did he play?
I'm not really familiar with him.
Golly, I think he played some Uranus from memory, and maybe some Egyptian.
I think he did play Egyptian because I know
Because I can work this out. I have the games.
Did he play Ron Aranos? Okay, that's what he said. We got Ron Aranos to help us out in chat. And maybe an Odin, but now somebody's saying Odin. Ra, Thor, and Aranos is what he played. I believe Flame when he says that. Now Scotty would probably. What do you think? Aranos or Set for Scotty, or Zeus?
Scotty, Zeus.
But he plays some other gods too.
He plays more than. I know he plays more than that, but
yeah, maybe not Set because of the nerf, but yeah, probably Aranos or Zeus. And Makaveli, I think he could do maybe some damage.
Yeah, Makaveli played Thor, Uranus, and Ra.
Yeah, I feel like he could do something here against Scotty, but Scotty is just so well rounded and pretty good. Why he got our 4th seed, but not invincible. But he's played really well in our last few tournaments that we've had, and has gotten in the semifinals. I think the last 2. I think maybe definitely the last one.
Yeah, he won the Smurf tournament that happened very recently as well. So he's actually, he's really, really good.
Who's the one sponsoring the prize money? That's a question in chat. Well, that's anonymous. It's an anonymous donor who just likes Age mythology, and there is no entrance fee. I think that would kind of go against everything with this tournament. It's who is winning this tournament? Well, nobody knows. Probably player. That's what I would say. But we will move on to our next match here. Whew. I'm just looking at this list, and there are so many good matches this round. Our next one to look at is Gold Lion versus Racing Cat. Nyan Racing Cat. These guys don't fit on my overlay. Gold Lion, what did he do in the first round? He went 3-0 over Repeater. And what, Nyan went 3-1 over True Loke. And
bit of I don't know. I haven't seen the games yet. Bit of a surprising one there. Nyan Racing Cat, very strong player. So I kind of expected that to be a 3-0, but obviously True Loke had something going for him in that last one.
Well, sometimes True Loke can play well, and normally he plays kind of not well, but occasionally he'll kind of surprise you. But I got our maps up on here, and again Marsh rears its head, and then Lumber Camp, Ghost Lake, Painted Desert, and Savannah. So Gold Lion, what god? Aranos, you think? And Nyan Racing Cat usually does Kronos.
Yeah, I don't know these guys well enough to say.
And he might do Ra. He might be Ra as well. I know Gold Lion likes to play a lot of Ra in team games, but I think he also plays Aranos 1v1. So we might see Aranos Ra for these games, and then Nyan probably mostly Kronos, Gold Lion complaining about having to play Painted Desert. Well, hey, if you win 3-0, you don't have to play on Painted Desert, now do you? There you go. Win 3-0, and you don't even have to worry about it. But I think this will be pretty close. I expect Gold Lion to win because Nyan is more of like a one-man god. So kind of map dependent, and I'm not really no chemo isn't already out, so I'm not really sure how these maps go for Kronos. So he might be Aranos. So yeah, chemo got him. Yeah, chemo is still in. You got anything else to say about the matchup here?
No, excited for Lumber Camp. Haven't seen any games on Lumber Camp yet. So
Yeah,
it'll
we'll
be,
see. We'll see what
be
Gold
easy.
Lion's got ready for Lumber Camp. See what he'll go. He's staying quiet about what god he's gonna choose. I think he's trying to keep his hand secret here. We'll see. Okay, our next matchup is going to be. This one looks pretty more. What god is good on Lumber Camp? That's for you to know, or for us to know, which we don't, and you to find out. Take a look at the map and see. But our next matchup, Brickhead versus Cheeky Repeater.
Yeah, this one was like one of the more surprising ones, I think, because I think Gaboo Gaboo was seated higher than Cheeky Repeater, so getting the cheeky upset and making it out of the round of 64 was a
Mm-hmm.
3-2, so
It
super
was a
super
very
close
close
match.
series.
Whereas Brickhead just demolished Savali
Yeah,
3-0.
his poor own clanmate just got wrecked. And then
Oh,
we've got our map set on there. Watering Hole, Marsh. Marsh keeps coming up. Alfheim, Medit, and then last but not least, Moat to pull that up. So Brickhead, obviously Norse. Cheeky Repeater plays a lot of different gods, I think, but I'm not sure what his main is actually. He's kind of a player that
I think it's Zeus. I
is
think
it.
it's Zeus.
He's kind of been
Yeah.
unknown, but he plays quite a bit, and I know he's gotten quite a bit better. It seems like within the last 3 to 6 months, he streams a decent amount too. So Brickett obviously the favorite here, but Cheeky could maybe
Hmm.
pick a game off or something.
Well, yeah, especially if Brickhead plays like Thor into Zeus on some of these high hunt maps and
Mm-hmm.
gets a bad starting gold line followed by like an Athena rush, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If Cheeky Repeater's been practicing that kind of strategy.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you open up with the two pretty high hunt maps, and then Alfheim generally a little bit
Hmm.
low, and then Medit, and then so a couple water maps to finish that off. So kind of a nice little map pool here. And we'll move on. Keep looking at the next list. I'm like the next matchup. I'm like, man, I don't know about this one. So here we go. Odin King, our 12th seed versus Matteo, who is our 21st seed, kind of, because he replaced someone that was a 21st seed. But Matteo's pretty good. I give him a fighting chance against Odin King for sure. And then let's pull up our map set here.
Yeah, Matteo beat Libertine 3-0, and Odin King got a forfeit. So Medusa Macro forfeited because he could not play, and we did not have a sub for him.
Yep. So, Matteo now. I know he almost never plays 1v1s. He plays a ton of Hades in team games. Um, but I don't know if he would play Hades 1v1 and just stick with it or try something different. Odin King kind of
Mm-hmm.
plays a variety. Kronos a bit, supposedly Odin, but a lot of Kronos. But
He is
yeah,
an Aranos player, though,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I expect to see like Aranos for the Oasis, or maybe Kronos is fine as well. But
Mm-hmm.
the maps are pretty good for Atlantean here.
Yeah, they especially that Oasis for sure.
Mm.
But marsh, tundra, borderland, savanna. That That could all work, and Matteo's good enough for it. I would say, like, skill-wise overall, maybe not outside of 1v1, definitely in team games, Matteo's better, in my opinion. This isn't 3v3, though. This is 1v1. But Matteo, I'd say, would be more flexible. It's just whether or not he'd be able to transition from 1v1. And yes, we will go through all the map sets, even for ones that haven't quite yet been determined. As well. So we will move on now to our next match. Because BoIt does have to go in about 30 minutes. We'll make it.
Yeah, we got time.
Oh, yeah. Another good one. Whew. A lot of good matchups. A lot of good ones. Our number 2 seed, Shelty, versus the extended edition player Sun Tzu. What do you think about this one?
Well, Shelty is very, very good. And Sun Tzu, I believe, has had some success in the extended edition tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously those extended edition tournaments are a little bit lower level skilled because the VB players don't tend to join them. But still, winning tournament experience is tournament experience. So
And Sun Tzu's pretty solid.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Yes, the numbers on the side are the seeds. So Shelty is our number 2 seed. Sun Tzu coming in is, our estimated 31. Now, no, Joe is number 3 seed, not number 2. And these maps, Medit, Borderlands, or not Medit, Midgard Borderlands, Medit, Marsh, and Frozen Wastes. We've got 2 cutthroat maps here with Borderlands and Frozen Wastes. For sure, and even Marsh is pretty cutthroat, especially if they're going Norse v Norse.
Yeah, well, if it's, Midgard is a Norse, is sort of a Norse map. It's known as a Norse map because they can fight water and mass land units at the same time. So that'll be a really, really blood sporty map, I think. Should be exciting.
Yeah. And a couple water maps, and then three land maps. So nice little mix here. And moving on to our next matchup is number 15 seed, 3-eyed Odin. That's also Shadowfax, correct?
Shadowfax, Ori, No Mercy, whatever you want to call him.
Versus Dolmatoss. So No Mercy is a vanilla player who's really good. And Dolmatoss, a pretty good team player. Not quite as good 1v1, but still solid. He's our 18th seed.
But we had the small scare there from 3-eyed Odin in the first round against Matteo, going 3-2, only barely taking that series. So maybe this one's going to be. It already seems like it'll be close, but maybe it's actually, even though 3-eyed Odin is seated higher, maybe it's more Dolmatoss favored here. Just
I don't know.
He's got the Titans experience under his belt.
Maybe. I'd say, like, mechanically 3-eyed Odin is better. But yeah, he does have that transition where he's now playing now playing Titans. And Dolmatoss is pretty solid too. And our map set: Anatolia, Blue Lagoon, Oasis, Lumber Camp, Watering Hole. What goddess does 3-eyed Odin play primarily?
He's playing Odin. He can play any of the Nila gods really well.
Okay.
He can't play Atlantean.
Yeah.
But he is like basically playing Odin and like the Egyptian gods.
Yeah, Dolmatoss. Question: why does Dolmatoss get a admin win? Basically because Rangers hasn't scheduled it all. Said he'd be on Sunday, wasn't, and then post like at the end of tonight that, hey, I'll be on tomorrow, which is after the deadline anyway. Unless there's a few exceptions, like if you were actually trying to schedule, which he didn't. So that's why Dolmatoss gets the admin win. It's just not very good scheduling and then not showing up all day Sunday when he said he'd be able to play.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating when someone's like they post in the scheduling thing. I'm going to be on this day, and that day is anywhere. You like that's 20. That's actually like what is it? Not 24 hours. It's like 36 hours of time potentially that you said you can be online. So it's like no, you have to say the times you're available in GMT to make it easy for your opponent, and um,
And then actually
it's
show up
just
at least some
and then
point during
actually
the
show
day.
up. Yeah,
At least some point during
yeah.
the day, log on and not be like, oh, I was traveling all day. I can be on tomorrow. Well, how am I supposed to know? But anyway, enough about that. Three-Eyed Odin versus Dolmatoss, good series. I think Three-Eyed Odin will take it, but it's going to be a close one.
Yes.
And our next matchup isn't quite determined yet. The number 7 Matrias versus the winner of Chrono JJ and Nolgath. That's me, by the way. And Nolgath. We are scheduled to play tomorrow or maybe today. Depending on where you're at. It's Monday at 19:30 GMT is the scheduled time for our big matchup. Hopefully it'll be a good one. And let me real quick. Oh, what do you think about this? Guess it's hard to say what you think
Well,
about it when you don't even have the matchup yet.
that's right. Don't have the matchup or the maps.
We do have the maps though.
um, uh, do we?
Yes, here are the maps. I got the maps ready.
Oh, that's just swapped out. Okay,
These are the
cool.
new
I'm a little bit
maps.
behind on the old
Yes.
stream.
Yeah, this is.
Okay, so Matrias beat Gaia Sucks quite easily, 3-0. And my good friend Chrono JJ is being put into a tough matchup against Nolgath, which is not yet played. So is actually, I think he thinks he's going to win, but I think it's going to be a really close match. I'm expecting like a 3-2 result there. So I have no idea who's going to win that one.
Yeah, it's. I think me and Nolgath will be a pretty close series. I could see it going either way, and then whoever wins gets the pleasure of meeting Matrias in the second round. Matrias is a huge Poseidon player, which
Yes.
holy smoke, sirens! They're coming to take you away.
Yeah, I've been naughty.
And I think I don't know. I think that. What do you think? Does Loki? How does Loki do against? If Nolgath wins, plays Loki. How does Loki do against Poseidon?
Well, Poseidon's one of those gods that puts Loki into a bit of a box because if you can't force a ceasefire, you lose one of your huge power spikes in that you can't go for like a semi-fast heroic gold staff with flaming weapon because it just casts ceasefire. So you put into a bit of a box where you have to like semi-fast mythic or something like that, or mass Hersar in the classical age and try and force a ceasefire. It's actually a really difficult matchup, I think, for Loki in general, but it's definitely not crazy Poseidon favored, maybe like 45-55 or something like that. But if Loki can get to the mythic age, then it's kind of over for Poseidon because he can't deal with the fire giants. He's got the worst mythic age Greek hero in Polyphemus.
Yes, once Polyphus gets up, finally makes his way to the myth unit, then he just knocks him away. It's the dumbest special ever.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, nice high hunt maps though for a Loki, assuming Nolgath advances. It could be me.
I mean, Ra. I was gonna continue and say Ra on the other hand, which is Chrono JJ's guide, on these specific maps, is very favored for the Ra player because you have to do things like one town center Sphinx spam, which is really difficult for Poseidon to deal with the high hunt, and also marshes. You can sometimes marsh can spawn a little bit like watering hole, where you can sit behind and do those two town center fast farm into ridiculous economy strategies. It doesn't work on any other maps, but that is a potential. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see, and we'll move on now to our next match here. Dodd Fox versus I Kill You Die. This is, oof. This is a couple Egyptian powerhouses, though. IKill could play off guard, but let's see. How did they get here? How did they win or advance in their first round?
So Fox was playing against SMP4, and SMP4 forfeited. So gets that win for free, and I Kill You Die took out Young Guns quite easily, 3-0.
Mm-hmm. And now we've got their maps up on the screen. I like Tropical Mirage. It's a very forward, town center, aggressive map. And then you've got Tundra, Oasis, Marsh, and Midgard.
Yes. I don't actually know too much about these guys. Does I Kill You Die play Loki or Runners or something?
No, he generally plays Ra, but I know he can also play some Uranos, and I've seen him play Odin in like team games, but I think he's primarily a Ra, so we'll probably see, this is probably going to end up being Egyptian Wars. And we got Oasis right there in the middle. You talk about an Egyptian war map. Oasis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then you finish it off potentially on Midgard.
Some of the best matches of all time have been like Egyptian Wars on Oasis, right?
Yeah.
Like, Magyar versus King. That one was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see, even though Fox is seated higher, I think I Kill You Die was maybe underseated a bit. I'd almost put this as a 50-50 matchup. I would say.
I think it might have been a case of these were like the 1800s, and I Kill You Die got randomized to the bottom, and Fox got randomized to the top.
Yeah, they're both pretty close. All right, our next one here is our number 3 seed. I Am Joe versus To Be Determined. Chef versus Nub, who are trying to schedule for tomorrow, but haven't quite yet. So, don't know.
Yeah, I think we're still investigating the situation here, so it might end up being an admin win in the end of it. So.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, let's take a look at the maps for this Joe coming up here. What are his maps? Move to the top. We have Watering Hole, Ghost Lake, Tundra, Moat, and Oasis. So Joe will probably end up playing Egyptian. Not bad Eggy maps.
Yeah, you do get 1 veto, so that could be used on a Ghost Lake if you get 1 gold mine.
Hold on, give me